Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. This is the edition where we went to Hawkstone Park, and me and Julie turned up and we had an amazing day. Before we get into this, I want to say a huge thank you to Howard and Alex that were so accommodating. They were brilliant. It wasn't just a case of, let's get the Shrewsbury Biscuit onto the park, do some interviews and send them on their way. No, it was brilliant. Howard, I need to just say, I agreed to do this because I have a great fear of heights, and I'm crazy and kind of to challenge myself. And so I decided to do I really wanted to do an interview from on top of the monument at Hawkstone Park, and I don't like heights, and that might not seem very extreme or anything to a lot of people, but when you got an extreme fear of heights, it's quite a big ordeal. I remember waking up the morning we were supposed to be doing this, and the first thing I thought of as I woke up was, what am I signing myself up for? So it was brilliant. We turned up to the park, and Howard was like, I'll drive you up to the monument. So he took us in his Defender. That was quite cool because we got to do a bit of the 4x4 track. You have to drive through that bit to get to the monument. Rather than spend an hour walking up there, he drove us, which was brilliant. And we climbed up the steps. We got to the top, and I was a bit flabbergasted to start off with, but I kind of warmed up in the end. There's a bit of wind you can hear. As you can imagine, it's quite windy up there. We did what we could with the microphones. It still sounds pretty cool, pretty good. So, that was great. And then we got back to the visitor centre, and we did a bit of a chat there. That's the second bit of audio you'll hear, is kind of just talking about a little bit about the history of the building and of the park, and its links to the Holy Grail, believe it or not. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. But and then afterwards, Howard was like, you want to go to the caves? And we were like, yes, we would love to go to the caves. So we got back in the Defender. Alex, the guy who works on the visitor centre, came with us, full of knowledge, very passionate about where he works. He came with us, and he was full of information. And we went and we stood inside the caves, and we recorded inside there. That was so good, so good. And I came away from that experience really happy with what we got. Of course, this episode is sponsored by Gin Different, our friends there. And I always say, if you not really tried gin, you're kind of on the fence, give it a go. And what better place to start off your gin adventures than Gin Different, which they've got a bar on top of the market hall. And gin lovers, what a perfect place to go if you've never been there. They've got such a wide array of different types of gins you can try. Darren runs gin tasting classes as well. Keep an eye out for them because they're good. I've been on one of them. It was covered on the biscuit. It was really, really fun. And so thanks for them. I'll do a little outro at the end after all this. I might just throw in some little bits in between the audio. But thank you so much again to the guys at Hawkstone Park for doing this with us. And we'll catch you on the other side of this audio. Peace out, guys.
Don't want to go 1 2 1 2 testing.
Right, we are stood in the clouds right now, and my heart's going like the clappers because I'm not great with heights. So I don't know why I come up with this idea of coming up here to do an interview at Hawkstone Follies on top of the monument. It's as high as the Lord Hill column. Is it as high, or is it the smaller?
We are not quite as high.
No?
They will argue they are a little bit taller than we are.
Yeah?
Oh, will they?
Yeah, I think they're by about 20 feet.
Oh, right, okay, that's quite substantial, isn't it?
But it's still pretty spectacular. I'm joined with Julie. How's it going, Jules?
It's going fine. Thank you very much I love being up here.
We decided to switch things up a bit, get out the studio, and I emailed Howard from Hawkstone Follies, Hawkstone Park Follies. How do we say this?
Hawkstone Park Follies.
Oh, brilliant! And he's very kindly. He's driven us up here. He's agreed to do this.
Thankfully.
And he's very bravely climbed the monument with us to just stand and chat about the Follies and what it is, what it's all about. So let's get into a bit about the history, because you are so passionate about this place. I mean, I found that about you and Alex. It was in in the guest centre at the beginning. You're very passionate about this place.
Yeah, we're both very passionate about it, and the one thing about Alex and I, we're actually you can't stop us talking about it because we actually love the place. It all started way back in the 18th century with the Hill family, which started off at their seated residence was in Hawkstone Hall, and they designed this walk around the hills around here just to entertain their guests. And that has stayed there ever since. For about 100 years they developed it. It got really, really popular, and then it went into disrepair for about 100 years, and then it was reintroduced in 1993.
It's crazy to think, when you think of people like 100 years ago, for example, you don't feel, you forget that they're human beings and they enjoyed nature as much as we do, and that the kind of things you get with nature. It's quite nice, I believe. It's like it's a connection to those, our ancestors, if you guess.
I suppose over the time they didn't have the sort of the outside influences we've actually got now,
That's
so
true,
they embraced it a lot more what they've got around.
Interestingly, actually, because you say obviously it was in disuse or in disrepair over 100 years, was that because buildings like that, World War II, they tended to take over sort of very large buildings in places, didn't they, to use? Did they ever?
Not that I'm aware, not Hawkstone Hall, no.
Okay,
Because I know
right.
when after the Hill family, because the Hill family went bankrupt after a certain length of time, and it was all
Right.
sold off. I know it became a pastoral centre.
Okay.
We had monks and nuns coming from all over the world, and it was like
Right.
a retreat for a good number of years.
Yeah.
And then it was bought out only a couple of years ago by a family, and it's now a luxury wedding venue.
Yeah.
And it's very luxurious from what we can see from up here. I've taken a picture
We're part
of
of
it.
Hawkstone Park Hotel, which at the time when the Hill family were here, that was just a small inn. And because the walk got more and more popular,
Yeah.
the hotel just grew and got bigger and bigger.
Right.
So that was part. So obviously the people were coming to around the walk, which was designed by the Hill family.
Yeah.
And it became a tourist attraction in its own right.
Wow.
So that's when they actually they needed more accommodation.
Right.
And rightly so, because I mean, like, if you live in a place that isn't as green and has got as much forestry as Shropshire has, this is the perfect example of what Shropshire's got to offer.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially when you can see what we're seeing now. You
Yeah.
get up here and you really get a good feel for what
Hills,
it's
fields, very big old buildings. There's another one over there in the distance, quite a big house. Farm, maybe?
Do you get a lot of the ghost huntery types to come around here? These places there's always a legend. There's always something, isn't there?
We don't get ghost hunters. We have because we're actually got the village we came through before is
Yep.
Weston under Redcastle. A lot of people ask where is the Red Castle. Well, the Red Castle itself is actually in the middle of the golf course.
Oh,
which is
okay.
largely unexplored. So you don't actually because it's surrounded by the golf course. Not everybody sort of gets there.
Right.
There's very little there. There's one or two small ruins, but that's where the Red Castle itself was.
Right,
And
okay.
there's legends about a couple of giants which used to fight over the area around here.
Like
so.
trolls.
Oh,
Very large
Like a
trolls.
troll hunter.
the Wrekin giant, is it mixed with that? Because I know there's like the Wrekin giant thing. I know.
I think every tourist attraction's got its own.
Yeah, it's
giant.
got to have something, hasn't it? Got to have something. So,
So you guys are closed at the moment. Is that just so you can let things grow back, let the paths, fix paths, maintain things?
It just gives us. We close at the end of November, and then we are building the caves, Santa's Grotto.
Yep.
So we transfer, and then all through December we are delivering Santa's Grotto. And then this January gives us a chance to sort of press the reset button.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work. The wardens are working very, very busy now, clearing paths, getting paths ready, clearing away the rhododendrons. So there's a lot of work going on, getting ready for the new season. But come the 15th of February, we're open all 7 days a week, right through to the end of November.
and what are your opening hours?
We open at 10 o'clock and we close at 5. But
Okay.
we do recommend to people to get here before 3 o'clock.
Certainly at the moment before the clocks go forward again.
Well, it's more case because it's going to take you 2 to 3 hours to get around the walk.
I know that, yeah.
And then if you turn up after 3 o'clock, you're more than welcome to have a coffee with us. But to appreciate the grounds, you need a
Yeah,
good 2 to 3
totally.
hours. So we don't let people onto the park after 3 o'clock.
Yeah, fair enough. Is that even in the summer when obviously you've got lighter out?
Even in the summer,
Yeah,
really, because
yeah.
it's going to take you 2 to 3 hours to get round, no matter what the weather
Yeah,
is. So
true.
to appreciate it, you need to be here before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
What's the tradition for opening for you guys? Is it just a mad rush, or does it slowly build up? Is it a lot of excitement?
We have events throughout the year. We have certain times of year where we are very busy. It's pretty steady throughout. I mean, half term's always very busy for us.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got some special offers to try and get more people here. It worked very well last year, and we've got special offers again this half term.
Yeah.
But our target audience is the families.
Yeah,
That's what we want.
totally.
And, so we get walkers throughout the year, but we have busy periods as well.
Yeah. Do you happen to know what your sort of your visitor numbers were last year, for example?
We had it's just short of 60,000 people last year.
Oh, that's amazing.
60,000.
That's
amazing.
11,000 that was at Christmas as well. Included,
No way.
But half term last year we had about 4,000 over the week.
That
so
is
we have
phenomenal.
busy periods, and but it's a big park.
Yeah.
You can have 800 people on a good day. But it's such a big park.
Yeah.
It never feels crowded.
Are there favourite spots of yours?
I like this.
Yep.
We're stood up here looking at this gorgeous countryside up here. I love it up here.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm
He's gripping the bar. I've taken a photo of his hand.
Yeah, I'm going to get a brave photo of me just, embracing the...
Taking your hand off the rail.
The place has got hidden gems all over the place.
Yeah.
I like it up here. Got the fantastic views. I also like when we go to the caves.
Yeah.
A particular favourite of mine is the Cleft.
Yep.
Which is a sort of natural gully which runs down from the caves down into onto the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to see that to believe it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's hidden gems all over the place, and you don't know what's around the next corner.
No.
You really don't.
Because you've got the big carved wooden chair, haven't you, at the top just by the caves?
Yes,
It's a bit-
kids love that because
Yeah.
we've got the troll hunt as you go around because it's a long walk, 2-3
Yeah.
hours. But even young children love it because they're hunting for the trolls as they go
Yeah.
around, and that's all part of that.
And you've got the little hermitage, haven't you, the little hut?
We have, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Everybody's got their own little part. And people like the Swiss Bridge, which is a really narrow bridge.
Yeah, that's the really narrow one,
and
isn't
you go
it?
and cross over another ravine.
Yeah.
Very scary, but yes, some people like that one as
Yeah.
How long have you been here, part of Hawkstone Follies?
well. This is my first year as manager.
Uh-huh.
I was assistant last year, but I've lived around here all my life, doing something around here. So this is my playground before we actually open to the public.
So did you get approached then to work here, or did you
I've
apply?
always worked around here. I've done some warden work,
Yep.
and then because I love the place so much, the opportunity came to get involved on the management side of it.
Right.
I like organising the events,
Yeah.
and it just naturally.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's my warden talking to me.
We don't want to take away
I'm
from your
busy. I'm busy.
So yeah, the opportunity came along to be more on the event side and get involved with the management. So
Yeah.
I love it. It's not really a proper job.
No,
It's a great job.
And you've got a restaurant here, haven't you? Like a tea room.
We
sort of
have a
tea
small
room.
tea room,
Yeah.
which it's only like a coffee shop. We do
Yeah.
lovely coffees and sort of homemade cakes and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a cafe. It's more of a small coffee shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it enhances it more than anything else.
Yeah, well, like you say, especially if you come down afterwards and somebody does want you. Well, I know, I know. After walking, that was the first thing Jill and I did. Went in and got cake and coffee.
And that's what it's all about.
water.
Well, yeah, we were sensible enough to take water with us, thankfully, because we did try and cover as much of. I think we were here for about 3 hours in the end, wandering around. But it was just.
It's really nice to
build up
actually
to Christmas.
bring the family, bring a picnic, and
Yeah.
even around the monument where we are now, it's
Yeah.
a great place to have the picnics, and you've got some fantastic views. You haven't got to come up to the top of the monument to get the views because we're quite high up anyway. But there's some lovely places around the
exactly.
caves. There's lots of places to have picnics.
How long is the walk, mile-wise?
It's about 4.5 kilometres.
Okay.
It doesn't sound a great deal, but there's a lot of steps involved with that
hills.
one.
Yeah.
Well, you just driven us up in your Jeep, and it was very steep. Very steep.
But there's also now. What's the walk we did that you follow? You go down. We went past something Fox's
Knob.
Fox's Knob. That's it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we came back down that way.
Yes, that's
In
the
the
proper walk. We would always encourage people to do the full walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's where you go. If you come the short return route, you are going to miss out on quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so you get good footwear, drink
Yep.
some water, take your time, enjoy the day,
Yeah.
and get the full routing because then you appreciate it more.
Yeah, that was fascinating. And what's the history of the? No, it's be the other side, won't it? If I remember. Oh, hang on, or is it over there? You know the tower. You've got that other tower.
The White Tower.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
the
what's the
White
history
Tower.
on that then?
That a lot of people think that is to do with the Red Castle. But
Right.
it's not. It is purely a folly in its own right. It was put up as a tower just purely for the Hill family's guests to have their halfway around the walk. That's where they had their refreshments. And it was
so
literally put up
there.
for that. That's exactly all it is.
Because obviously Folly, most people know Folly to be like one item, don't they, in the grounds of like luxury mansions or properties.
A folly
But
is
it's
just a decorative building
Yeah.
with no real purpose.
But obviously the Follies
yeah.
means there's lots here. So what are the other? What's classed as the other follies?
There's lots
here?
of things. I mean, you've got lots of even like the tunnels and the caves. They've got no purpose at all.
Yeah.
They were just put there for entertaining their guests.
Yeah.
We've got the White Tower.
Yep.
A lot of people say, why isn't it white? Well, it used to be whitewashed. It's now red.
Right. Yeah.
We've even got the visitor centre where we actually went down, where we first met.
Yep.
It's no purpose there. It's just a decorative building for people to have their teas and coffees in.
Yeah.
And you've got the caves as you go along. We've got the Swiss Bridge,
Yep.
which in a way is a folly because it's just a bridge. It's a little bit of Switzerland in the middle of the English countryside.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Yeah, because we can.
Because we can.
Is it easy? I mean, like, this is an odd question, but is it easy to take this for granted? Or do you need reminders sometimes?
It's nice to go for a walk every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we're blessed in Shropshire. We've got a lot around us, so we are definitely blessed around here. We've got a lot going on. So, but yes, it is nice to get out here. And you never really take it for granted, but yes, we do need to remind ourselves what a fantastic place.
I bet you get lots of artists up here wanting to get the paint some views.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? Because
Yeah.
where you're looking now, why wouldn't you? Because you've got fantastic things.
Yeah, I mean, photographers, they must the light, because obviously the light. I mean, it is slightly overcast today, but you can see a long way. Especially if you squint, actually, you can see through some of the low-lying cloud.
Well, it's rumoured you've got 16 counties from here on a really good day.
Oh, really?
I think I would struggle to
16?
count. Remember 16, but apparently you can get 16.
Well, that's unusual then, because if you think, like, if you go at the top of the Malvern Hills, obviously you can see all the 3 counties around, can't you? But yeah, so I'm in my head I'm now thinking, well, what are the counties? But I'm wondering if several of them are like perhaps some of the Welsh ones.
I think we've got a few Welsh ones in there.
Yeah,
'cause
definitely.
We're not too far from Wales.
No, of course
Not
not.
too far at all.
See, directly just through there, there's like a light shimmering. Is that what? Do you know what that is? There is that like a light? You can just see like it looks like a water right over the hill line there where those trees are.
Yes. I actually don't know.
Oh, okay, no. So I just always like to try and get my bearings.
Wind. I don't want to lose my hat. Like, okay, I need to explain that. Okay, the wind's ruining.
There's no chance of getting blown over, so I won't worry about that.
Go away, wind, because I'm trying to talk. It's on the microphone.
It's moved around a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah.
It's
Do you want to walk
it's
round
actually
there?
coming down there. I don't know whether you're slightly.
I'm literally shimmying around it.
I've got to take a picture of this.
Okay, so when I went up the Lord Hill column, I wore my cap backwards, which there's lots of pictures of me doing that. Why is it sounding weird now? And the wind picked up my hat, took it off my head, and I went to grab it, and obviously I didn't because I was falling over the. And yeah, that was a very scary moment for me. I don't do heights, but I like challenging myself. That's why I wanted to do this and give you guys a bit of let people know what's going on here.
You are doing very well.
Yeah.
Because I'm a legend. I'm a goddamn hero. Do you do a lot with the local schools and things? Do schools come here?
We get a lot of school parties coming in, and yes, we do try to encourage a lot of school. We had over 1,000 school children came last year, and just really coming round, and we do little talks about them. We had a school came in last year, and they wanted to talk about our links to the Chronicles of Narnia. Because the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, the original BBC series, was actually filmed here.
Wow!
I never knew that.
That's way back in the 80s. So they were actually reading it in the school, so they wanted to sort of link the two. And we did a classroom talk. We started the classroom talk. I felt that the school children were losing interest. So I said, you know what? Let's get out on the park, and they absolutely loved it.
I bet
they could really relate to the story, to the scenery and everything. Then
I don't remember that series. Obviously, I was born in the 80s, so
You were probably far too young to perhaps maybe watching telly.
was there anybody famous in that one? Was it a big thing?
I do vaguely remember the one from the 80s, but you asked me. I mean, I can no.
it's before our time, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, way
Totally.
before our time.
Thank you. Thanks, Howard.
How fascinating! How fascinating! So we got local gems here, all in one space. How would you sell it if somebody was asking about the Follies in like one paragraph or something? How would you sell it to someone? I mean,
that's like you've got 1 minute in a lift with somebody to sell it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Go for it.
There's people all around the world that listen to our show, especially in America, that are absolutely obsessed with our traditions and our history. But this place is the icing on the cake. I feel,
It's very typical Middle England. And we've got some amazing walks, and you just don't know what's around the next corner. You really don't. It's great to bring a family here, let the kids be kids, let them run off, let them explore.
Yeah.
There's no real set route. You're not following it A to B. You go down and you see a track somewhere. Oh, let's go down there and explore it, and that's what it's all about. And you can come here numerous times throughout the years. Oh, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
That's the biggest attraction. It's just allowing the children to be children and running around.
Here's an odd question: how many people have you had to safely escort off the monument? Because I can imagine there's a lot of people that come up here and they just go stiff. They just don't want to. I can't move. Does that happen a lot?
It's not too bad when they counted the 152 steps to get to the top here.
Oh, that's
they
how many.
kind of
Thank
want
you.
to get to this. Right, we've got to the top there.
Yeah.
We're not too bad. Most people come sensible.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
What's the wildlife here? What sort of wildlife typically would you see here?
Squirrels and pheasants.
Okay, so no deer or anything.
There used to be deer here.
Yeah.
And there are. I think there's a few muntjacs around, but
okay.
They're so shy.
Right.
We don't see them. I've lived here all my life, and I've never seen deer.
Oh, really?
But my dad has, and he said they are around.
Yeah.
And they are migrating more this way again now. So
Okay.
there are deer here, but you won't see them.
No.
No, they're hiding. So there's golf here. There's the 4x4 track as well. That's not with you, are they? They're not part of what you do, are they?
It's part of us.
Yeah,
If people want to go on their 4x4s, it's a company called Ash 4x4.
Yeah.
It's an outside company, so people can come to that. But we're predominantly looking after the park, looking after our customers. We have events throughout the year as well, especially sort of a half-term time, Easter time, Halloween in particular. Halloween's a great one here.
Let's talk about Halloween because I missed that. What did you guys do last year for Halloween?
The last couple of years now, we've actually had actors throughout the park, and the family come along. We're not designed. We don't want to scare the children. It's all about. I think the technical term is boo rather than scary ones.
Yeah.
So we have actors around the park, and they're telling a story as they go around, culminating they get around to the caves, and then we have some storytelling in there. So there's some witches and wizards
as opposed to Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, definitely. And that's all through Halloween. Easter time, we have an Easter egg trail as well, and that goes on all. So they're going around the park, but it's slightly different trail, but it's more sort of geared towards Easter.
Yeah.
And,
You should bring Toomey and Kaz here.
Yeah, we want to help cover some of your events, so maybe we can come Easter and I can send Timmy, my little 5-year-old, around on the Easter egg trail, take some pictures and stuff. That'd be cool.
Even though he's only 5, you'd be surprised how far they walk when they're interacting with the trail as they go around.
Yeah.
They don't realise they're tired until the end.
Yeah.
And then that's your responsibility.
Carry him the rest of the way. Well, thank you for chatting to us up here. Maybe we should head back to the reception, maybe get somewhere warm, have a coffee, and finish off this chat.
Chat with Alex as well. Yeah,
that'd be really nice.
So, is there anything? I don't know if it would be a secret, would it though? If you was able to say it, but is there any? If people were coming here and they had like a limited period of time, and you had to recommend, if you're just passing by, come in and just see one thing, what would it be?
If you're getting shorter time, because of the nature of the walk, you're walking away from the visitor centre most of the time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I just want to see the caves."
Okay.
But that is an hour and a half away.
Yes,
but you're more than welcome to come along and get into the park, and if you can, at the very least, get up to around to the White Tower. There's some amazing views up around the White Tower.
Yeah.
And then you just backtrack your way to. So you can do that in an hour.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
and that's what we'd recommend if people come shorter time.
But I of course, you recommend people come here with plenty of time.
No, exactly. It's just
you want to take it in,
sometimes
don't you?
if people are like on holiday and even if they get like a snapshot, say right, I've seen that bit, I'm coming back for more, but.
We do. I mean, we won't let people onto park after 3 o'clock anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Because then we never really know where they are, so we might be trying to find them at 7 o'clock at night.
Actually, that's probably a very good question. How do you know if someone is missing? So
the
to
nature
speak?
of where we are, everybody drives to come here.
Yep.
If there's a car in the car park,
Gotcha.
there's somebody on park.
Right. Okay. And have you had to send a search party out?
Occasionally, it does happen occasionally.
Right.
Yeah, it does go there, and the wardens will lock up in reverse, and they'll come down, and we generally find people.
Yeah.
So though it's quite a long walk, we've got certain areas we know where to go, and we can find people.
Yeah.
We're pretty.
Bet you know this place like the back of your hand, obviously. Right.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to go back down, do you?
We can take some pictures. We'll take some pictures, do a Facebook Live, and then we'll go to the reception.
Yeah.
And we'll sit somewhere warm and have a chat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has been great. Thank you.
No, it's been brilliant. Yeah.
Lovely.
Really interesting to get the history of it properly.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that was our interview at the top of the monument there, and as you can see, it's not bad sounding at all. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, to be honest. Just a general chat about the park, and I had no idea they filmed the Chronicles of Narnia here. How cool is that? Anyway, next we're going to be scooting over to the visitor centre and finding out a bit of history about the actual building itself. So we are now in what's called, still called the greenhouse, or this is the visitor centre? Do you still call it the greenhouse?
It is the visitor centre, yes it is, but technically it's the orangery, because that's sort of a posh word for the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Basically an orangery is a greenhouse which is not attached to a building. And this is where the guests of the Hill family, where they would finish the walk. And they came here, and this is where they had their
cake.
Their 11s.
And what were we going to say? There's lots of bits of the old statue down here. Is there more of this, or is this all that's left?
This is all that's left. I mean, we're actually in what we call the history room now, and as you can see all around us, we've got the history of how the park has come about. So it's well worth, if you come here, just take a bit of time and find out what it's all about, and it's all in order, so you can find out what it's all about.
I love that. I was saying about my wife. I love my wife to bits, but she gets bored really easy in museums. I like to read everything at a museum. I can spend a whole day there. So while I'm stood staring at a board, she's sat on the bench tapping her foot. But I love this.
The great thing around here, you can get an idea what it's like as you come into here, and you can take a guidebook with you, and then you can walk around, and then it's very visual of what you're actually going around. So you can learn the history while you're actually exploring as we go around. So I'm sure it'd be great for your wife.
Yeah. I was really fascinated about the story you were telling on the drive back here about the Romans and about the tribe. Is it the tribe? Was it a tribe that lived here? Or
the Shropshire tribe was the Covonian tribe, and around here, and we we actually got on with the Romans, so we accepted them here, and so we actually worked alongside them. I know we got the Bury Walls, which is an old Iron Age fort, which is just across the way here. That was linked to the Bury Wall, to Hawkstone Park here as well. And there are stories that say that they reckon the Bury Walls was actually the original Camelot. How true that is, I don't know.
Interesting. It is interesting because there's lots of stories about where Camelot was situated. And you were saying something about a chalice was actually found here, right?
There was. There was a gentleman who was actually excavating some work up in the caves, which were all copper mines, and there was some statues in there. And as he was moving them, a small cup fell out the back of it. And they say that was the Holy Grail, but it's
so there is a legend here that possibly the Holy Grail is from here. That's quite cool. I like that. So you guys need to. Where's that cup now? Have you guys got it? So
I actually don't know. No, we have.
Mysteriously, it disappeared.
He's taken like the Shropshire hoard.
Oh God!
It could be in a museum somewhere, couldn't it?
Is there anything that you'd like to let people know in the recent future for them, a reason to come here and check it out? Of course, that's beautiful, but I mean,
we open on the 15th next week, which is half-term week, and we got some special offers to introduce a lot of people who haven't been before. It's half price for everybody who turns up, and you really need to come in and experience it. Give yourself a good day. Come with the kids. Come and explore it, and just lose yourself in the natural countryside.
Sure,
absolutely.
And do you have website, Facebook page, all that, where people can they pay online if they wanted to?
They can pay online, absolutely. They can do that, but most people just turn up on the day. Just give yourself plenty of time. That's key. We are on Facebook. We have a website. Check the website out for any future events coming up. We get them on there pretty quickly. I'm reasonably active on the social media side of it. It's not my forte, but I'm getting better.
That's one way to do it, though, isn't it? One way to learn. Just do it.
So if you've got any questions, just ask me.
Brilliant.
We will do our
best. And does this open, or is if somebody wanted to, like pass those after hours? Has anyone ever hired up here? Obviously, with staff on site for anything, has it ever been used for anything different?
There's lots of different things going on. We get schools to come for walks. It's very difficult to actually have the whole place hired out because our priority is to the public coming on. So we don't do exclusive use of things. There are certain areas of the park we can do. and we've had people who have done some filming here.
Right.
There was a Netflix film last year that came and they hired a section out to it, so that was very interesting. That was called Running Free, which is a Netflix film. In the past, we have had film companies come. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe was here in the early 1980s.
Which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Bit before my time. So we have linked that. We've had school parties are reading the books, and they've actually come over and linked the story to where it was actually filmed.
Brilliant.
Which makes it very real for the children.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome.
It's amazing.
I've loved this. I've loved this so much. It was such a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for accommodating us and taking us around.
No problem.
And you've got our support for any events you want us to cover. You have my sword. I always say that, but that's just a bit of a weird way of saying things.
Very King Arthur.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the right place for it.
Aren't you? You really do think this was Camelot?
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah. And at that point, I thought that our day was done and we were going to go home. So there's actually an extra bit there. I was like, oh, thanks for today, and we'll catch you next time on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. And then Howard was just like, you want to go to the caves? And we were like, yes. So he took us to the caves, and the next bit is where we recorded from inside the caves. It was brilliant. Those caves, by the way, if you've never been there, you're not just going to see some hole in a cliff or something. It's beautiful. It's massive. It's stunning. It took my breath away, and you'll hear it from this audio there. So coming up next is us in the caves. Right, we're recording and we are inside the caves, which absolutely right. Which we came down here and I was like, can we just pop in the caves and do a quick interview? I was expecting, I've been abroad and I've been into caves before. I remember I was swimming in Greece and we swam along the sea and they were like, we're going to go inside a water cave, and I was expecting something big and grand, and it was this crappy little hovel type hole, and that was kind of what I was expecting here, but this blew me away. It's massive in here. What was this place?
Originally, it was copper mines.
Yeah.
And if you look around yourself, you can see evidence of the green hue on the walls.
Yeah.
We know the Romans definitely mined it, and it probably went back further than that.
And how do you know that the Romans mined it? What evidence is there to say that?
There's lots of evidence around to do with the Romans were around here an awful lot in the area.
Yeah.
They've been up to certain areas. I mentioned it before about the Bury Walls. We know the Romans have been around to there. And it's just generally picking up on the history.
Okay, so not necessarily any artefacts or anything?
Not any artefacts that we know of, no.
Yeah, okay.
I bet in the summer it gets very claustrophobic in here. Lots of people moving around. Is there do you have, for health and safety, a limited number of people that can go in here?
You'll be surprised, actually, because we can have, in really nice days, we can get 700-800 people around, but it's a big park.
Yeah.
It never feels too crowded, no matter when you actually come.
That's good.
Because people drift in, it never feels too bad.
That's like even on Halloween, and a lot of people were doing the trail. The guy was sitting here with his table and chairs and talking, and all the children were there on beanbags, and there were parents milling around. But I'd gone off and wandered off round there somewhere, which is that's where I came in from the cleft.
From the cleft, yeah.
Off round there. And I passed one other person, and that was it. And,
really?
And the park was pretty busy.
It was a busy time of year, yeah.
week.
It is very busy,
So, yeah, definitely.
Wow, this is a great place. I did ask the question if we could come stay here one night, but I'm not going to ask you that because that's not your answer to give, and I don't want to get into trouble. But I think I would love to sit up here, laptop, some movies, some munchies, the chair, just to sit. It's just like the ultimate place to relax. The views from around here are great as well, you know.
It's quite interesting with the looking. Obviously, we talk about this when we do stuff in town. We're always saying about when people walk town in Shrewsbury, not enough people look up because of all the stuff that's up high that you never ever spot. So I'm just looking around here, so I can see a very large circular pin. It looks like the little eyelet, the eyelet. What's that for?
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
They've actually been added for when we got Father Christmas's grotto up here.
Yeah.
Things like this have actually gone up over the years, and slowly but surely, it's to enhance certain things which have been around here.
Okay, so
it's not an ancient thing, which is probably what.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know. It looks quite modern, to be honest. And literally, so this is quite interesting, actually, directly above us, because obviously you've got all the natural rock. That's very dead straight flat. that bit there.
If you look even further, you've actually got a very, because that's actually the direct, that's been put on the top of there. Used to be a roof there, and that's where it caved in. So that has been added later on. Because you can see they've got slabs there.
Yeah.
They've actually been added at a later stage, because that is literally inches from the top.
Where we were standing looking over that arched window?
Yes, we were walking on top of that.
So when you say this was a roof, you mean as in it was a natural roof?
It's a natural roof, and that's sort of caved in since, so that has been added on later on.
Right, okay, but I mean obviously that's still really old, isn't it? You can see that's...
It's still old sandstone, yes.
Yeah.
You can always see like axe marks in the wall and stuff, can't you? You know, like pickaxe type things. There's scratches along the wall. I don't know if that's something you guys...
it's where it's been hollowed out, and also as you look around, you can see all the sort of the natural columns, which they've actually done. It's obviously left up to support the roof.
Yeah, because obviously, because you couldn't just come straight in. Well, I don't know, obviously back then blasting and that, you probably, I don't know, would they? But you would. Normally, when you go into mines and that, there's wooden trusses everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
Stuff
So
up.
here it's very,
it's very
natural.
clever that they've left
It's very
it
natural,
completely natural.
And we were chatting to Alex. He's hiding away from the microphones, and he was saying that this place was like full of like slag heap and shells apparently. So what?
It's all decorated. That it was that there was a lot of areas, and unfortunately it has all gone away. But there was like Alex said, there was all the slag, and also it was the shells which they imported here.
Yeah.
For decoration.
Yeah.
Oh right.
And
okay.
it was quite something to see.
I imagine.
That's probably like that shell house, isn't it? Isn't it Polperro? No, maybe not. One of the little fishing villages down in Cornwall. There's a whole house completely covered in shells.
You can understand it down in Cornwall, but up here,
yeah, I know.
That's the weird thing.
Landlocked county. Yeah, we're definitely not good. And obviously, I mean, that's the good thing, isn't it? About like a cave. This isn't a cave, as in natural. It's a mine, isn't it?
It's a mine, yeah.
Rather than a cave. So obviously, he would never have experienced any of the like rising water and all that sort of stuff.
Well, we're so high up.
Far too high up for that.
How far does this all run then?
Well, we're in the main chamber here. This is the biggest chamber, and we've got the cave goes round to the left hand side. So we're probably about half it here, but we've got lots of tunnels around. So you can definitely get lost here.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for bringing us down here to have a look, and the views as well. That arch window that's at the top here. If you've never been to Hawkstone Follies before, there's an amazing... Well, the whole place is picturesque. There's lots of great picture opportunities, but that window into Shropshire, I think you called it, was is a brilliant...
we've got the arch up on the top, which was literally designed as a window towards Shropshire, and it was a photo opportunity, and it still is now.
Yeah.
Brilliant. This place is amazing. I'm in love with it. I'm going to come here in the summer. Definitely bring my little one. And
I wouldn't leave it that long.
Well,
come here in the Easter egg.
No,
hunt.
we're gonna. But I've got this image in my head of just summer and the heat and the clear views and things like I love this place. Yeah.
Awesome. No, it's brilliant.
Right. Okay.
Thank you guys once again. Thanks, Alex, who's hiding.
He's hiding.
Not behind a column, but he's just hiding in the shadows.
I don't want to talk. I talk to thousands of them every day when it's open. I don't want to talk. Thank you very much, guys.
Brilliant. Cheers.
So there we go. That concludes our episode of Hawkstone Park Follies. What a great opportunity that was to witness it for the first time. I'd never been there before, and from looking at the place, looking back now, it's a bit of a crime because it is a very beautiful part of Shropshire, and I'm really, really grateful to Howard and Alex for the hospitality that they showed us. Those caves are amazing, and yes, I would love to just spend the night there, just chilling, just relaxing. But look, the park is open again from the 15th of February. Make sure you check out their Facebook. They got a nice website as well, so you can book some tickets. You can book online. You can pay when you get there. And there's lots of great things going on there throughout the year. So make sure you check it out. It's brilliant. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to my team, to Julie, to Dee Dee, and to Shane, because during this Darwin Festival period, as well as everything else, because I did say to him that the Darwin Festival stuff is going to be extra content as well as our features, and that's how we've been running things. So it means that we've been attending a lot of events. I mean, this weekend just gone was crazy for us. I mean, that day at the Follies, me and Julie went to that, and we went home for a few hours and then met up again for the Young Thinkers Awards at the museum on that same day. And then the next day, me, Shane and Dee Dee went to Cords Crush Cancer in on the green, and we had a great night. And Mark Fielden, big shout out to him. He did an amazing job, put a great festival together. The music was just brilliant. I did try and get some audio, but the Storm Sierra kind of ruined it for us, but that's fine. We got lots of social media, we enjoyed ourselves, and everybody else there did as well. I haven't yet heard if he's reached his 10,000 mark yet, but we will find out, and we'll let you know. But there's so much coming up, and during that week it was just crazy in the studio. So to my team that have been working really, really hard to make quality content for you guys, I'm hugely grateful. So thank you very much to Team Biscuit. Lots more to come as well. This episode has been brought to you by our sponsors at Gin Different. We love those guys, that they give us an opportunity, and I'm grateful to them too. Make sure you check out the bar at the top of the market hall in town, and check them out on the social medias as well, Facebook, Instagram, etc., etc. Give them a follow, because they're doing great things throughout the town. You can check out our audio on our website. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. We're everywhere you can go and get your podcasts. But if you're not too keen on the apps, you can go to www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk, and you can listen to the audio directly off the website there. I'm not as hot as releasing that on the website, I've got to say, because, with the Podbean stuff, it's all done automatically. But I do try and keep it all up to date. You can go onto the website on your phone. You can play the audio, close your phone, and go about your day. It's brilliant, and we're grateful again, very, very grateful to Web Orchard for putting that beautiful website together. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we will catch you next time. And hope you guys have been safe through this horrible, horrible weather we've had at the beginning of the week, and none of you were affected too badly, apart from Shane. Shane's fence got blown over, so commiserations for Shane's fence being blown over. Peace out, guys. Catch you next time.